Right, Shalom, giving all praise unto Yahweh Shema Shai B'Shem Koach Korash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and I honor your brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And above everybody are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Shema Shai B'Shem Koach Korash. Giving all praise unto Yahweh Shema Shai B'Shem Koach Korash. It's going to be a reasonably short video based upon gluttony, greed, overconsumption. What else comes to mind? Okay, vitriols being so good, cheap upon the face of the earth that they really thought themselves to be in a good case. And I think it's indicative of this dumpster diving culture that's developed over the last five years, maybe since COVID or whatever. You know, people have really gone into the dumpster diving culture where, you know, you really begin to see just how messed up, wasteful, and inefficient this society is when you really watch some of these guys that be dumpster diving and they're pulling out a full tracksuit that's retailing for like £80, okay, or they're pulling out ornaments, garments, shoes of a hefty price. Some of it is damaged because obviously the brand doesn't want to lose their brand prestige or whatever. But really, you're seeing all manner of different things that are very expensive within this dumpster diving culture that really raises an eyebrow to the fast-paced fashion that they call it, the fast-paced. And I suppose fast-paced fashion can be applicable just to more than just clothing and garments or whatever, right? I suppose it could be applicable, to even, you know, decorations, and that's what the stuff that you'd be finding, toys and stuff like that in there. And that's all of a hefty price. Okay, a lot of this stuff is of a hefty price. And I suppose the point I'm trying to make or trying to hit with this particular video is the ideas that we see within the scriptures, namely, vitriols shall be so good, cheap within the earth that they should think themselves in a good case. Now, after the so-called World War II or during the World War II, you had rations and you had a real lifestyle of you know, wasting not and wanting not. Okay, now you could go to a Mackie D's, eat half a burger, decide you don't like it, change up the meals, then decide you want to go KFC now actually, and you'll still be in a, you know, still not really having spent a lot of money. Okay, still got all of this food availability. You can go on Amazon, buy, you know, cheap plastic goods from China or whatever, get a toaster for like £7 or whatever, and really not comprehending how much technology has gone into the production of those particular things, how much materials has gone into that, how much, you know, industrial revolution you've had, okay, to get to a point where you could buy a toaster for like £7, okay, which is kind of crazy. But these are the things that they'd be finding in a dumpster dive or whatever, and they'd be finding these particular things and trashing them and, you know, trying to salvage them. The trash is being salvaged and whatever. But this is the life we're living right now, where everything's just so wasteful, from food to clothes to household goods and appliances. Everything's just wasteful. Okay, everything is just in such a way that it's disposable. I'll go as far as saying this is a growing dynamic now with these vehicles that we drive. It's becoming an increasingly, you know, obvious thing that these vehicles that we're driving now, a lot of these brands are dealing with vehicles that they know as disposable cars. Okay, even a car that's a 50 grand car is now really considered a disposable item. You know, you had a long time ago, you could buy an S-Class, and maybe not an S-Class, but you could get an E-Class, and the E-Class would last a long time. E-Class is about a 3, 4, 5 year car, man. Okay, so this whole culture of consumerism, we gotta ask ourselves, where is it coming from? We know where it's coming from. It's coming from Babylon, which is America. Scripture talks about how that America lives so deliciously. America's lived so deliciously. You know what it means to live deliciously, man? All your life? That means all them teeth are falling out. Okay? Rotting out. Teeth all rotten. Because you live so sumptuously. That's how they've lived. And that idea of consumerism and overconsumption, whether it be food or items, like how many pairs of Jordans does a Negro want, man? You got every single pair of Jordans and you got them all in different colorways. It's totally ridiculous, man. You know, what's a man need 17 pairs of different shoes for, man? I got like 3, 4 pairs of shoes. One pair of boots, Okay, one pair of boots for, you know, when I'm going out in a fashionable sense. Another pair of boots if I'm going to a job interview, and the sneakers that I'm wearing now. I don't need a whole bunch of sneakers, man. I might have 2-3 pairs of sneakers, some old, some new, whatever, right? But man, dudes are coming out here with 17, 20, 25 pairs of Jordans, and then they got other sneakers that they wear. But they're underneath that vibration of consumerism. Okay, things are just cheap and available. Okay, easily accessible, so accessible that you can really come end of the so-called buying season, you can really just dump it and put it in a landfill somewhere. Which is, man, it's crazy to think there's some child labor laws that are being broken somewhere within the world to make an Adidas tracksuit, and then an Adidas tracksuit doesn't even get worn once, and it's already in a landfill. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But this is the society that we're living in. Well, let's look at the other side of it. Let's think about the other side of it. What's the other side of it? Well, we understand from the scriptures a great day of famine is coming, man. A great day of wanting is coming. Okay, a great day of wanting is coming. You thought you was really good, man. You thought you was gonna have the peaceful and the safe days forever and ever and ever. And it's just like it's not gonna last. This idea of just being able to dispose everything, man. I remember growing up in Africa. You had a chicken. As wicked as it was, man, they ate all the parts of the chicken. yeah, chicken foot soup. Okay, the gizzards, all of that. They ate all of that. As wicked as it was, that's what they did. Because guess what? You wasn't in a position to waste any of it. Okay? You wasn't in a position to waste any of it. But in this country, man, you could have 17 chicken wings and eat 6. and decide it's not for you. That's where we're living, man. But this is the time that we're living in now. How much is gonna change so quickly when Esau comes down with a hammer, comes down with a time of Jacob's trouble hammer. It's gonna be beautiful, man. It's gonna be beautiful because a lot of these people's pride, especially these women, a lot of their pride is predicated on the ability to have. Okay, a lot of these people's pride is predicated on their ability to obtain and have. Right? What you gonna do when you don't have? What's gonna happen when you don't have? What's gonna be the situation where you're wanting? A lot of people ain't gonna be ready for that because your mind's been so acclimatized to instant gratification. Your mind's been so acclimatized to click and collect. Your mind's been so acclimatized to next day delivery. That's what you've been acclimatized to. So a lot of these people are gonna bug out, man. What you mean you gotta ration? Ration. People ain't ready for rationing, man. Okay, you've lived in an overconsumptuous lifestyle, you live deliciously, and you're gonna bug the hell out when you realize the inevitable. This life that you've lived, this sumptuous life that you lived of excess, okay, it was only for a short dispensation of time. And really, it was a bit of an okie doke. Really, it was a bit of a setup. Because now we're going into a situation where he set you up to be so acclimatized to having everything so instantly available that you're gonna clamor for it when he removes it. Okay, you're gonna be shouting on a rooftop, okay, asking for them to give you the chip so you can go back to some similitude of normality. And you saw that within 2019 where people were jumping up and down to get back to normal, so they took the jab. So when the chip comes, what do you think it's gonna be, man? People are gonna be missing the instant, right? They're gonna be missing the instant gratification. And so be it, man. So be it. You take the CHIP, but me and my household, we're going to follow Yahweh Shai. Anyways, with that, I'm going to say all praises unto Yahweh Shai, the bonders under the apostles, the great millstone, on the brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. I'll see you on the next one. Shalom.